Hello and welcome to the morning show teeing off with Revsportz. Very good morning to everyone present and very good morning Bharat. Thanks for joining. Lots happening in sporting world. Indonesian Open is going on. The Ashes starts from today. From tomorrow, our Indian under 17 team plays the under 17 AFC Asian Cup in Bangkok, and so lots to discuss. Bharat, before we move on to Ashes, let's talk a bit about Indonesian Open. Yesterday, PV Sindhu, yes, she lost the match, but how would you rate the match? And she has been struggling against Thai, and it was again visible yesterday. Your thoughts?
See, we have already noted that I think Sindhu struggles against basically three players. If you want to rank, one would be Tai Suying, second would be I think one now would be Ancient, two would be Tai Suying, and three would be the Czech Hinterland. So Tai Suying is someone who plays a very technical game. She can be spontaneous. She can uh, do those play those forehand slices, stops, and then clears, as they call it in badminton. So that is why Sindhu can't play a natural game. Perhaps she can't throw smashes, use her height, and that is why she struggles more against TTY than someone like
Mm.
Yamaguchi. I think TTY said if you really want to defeat her, I think you have to play it in a way where you anticipate her deception, and that is when she can't. She struggles to react, which obviously girls like
I think Bharat is facing some technical problems. Your internet a bit choppy, Bharat. Can you hear me? I think Bharat is facing some technical issues, but yeah, as he was telling, PV Sindhu struggling against Thai. We have seen it in earlier games, and it was visible yesterday also. And the other game, it was quite unlucky. Kidambi Shrikant playing against Lakshya Sen, two Indian top shuttlers, faced off each other in the pre-quarterfinals. Pretty unfortunate. Yes, we have Bharat back. Yes, Bharat, go on.
yeah, just you have to ask the question again. I lost for a few seconds.
Yeah, you were telling about PV Sindhu struggling against Thai, and please continue that. But I lost you in the middle. Please complete what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I said. Uh, she plays a very technical, spontaneous game, and
Mm.
Sindhu struggles because she wants to dominate and she can't with her smashes.
Mm.
I think the best way to play Thai is you have to anticipate all her deception, and that is what Ansing and Yamaguchi, of course, have done. Basically, struggles to play against her. That's when she struggles. Tai Sui, but Sindhu is not able to do it over 20, 25, 30 matches or whatever. So that's why the pattern is same. Barring that one world championship match somewhere, I don't remember 2018 correctly, to 2018 or 2019. Barring that one match, a lot of those matches have similar patterns where Tai Swing will come to the net and play all these forward slices, drops, and then clears. The Sindhu goes on the defensive and then she uses the smash. So the same
Mm.
pattern gets uh, again and again. It's like a what you can say, when you were young, you would see grinder, your mother, the grinding some stuff. It feels the same way, where same thing you see, the same pattern you see over a period of time. I'm saying the matchup.
Exactly. Exactly. And another unfortunate encounter yesterday was obviously Kidambi Srikanth and Lakshya Sen facing off each other, two top shotgunners meeting. It was okay if they met in the semifinals, but in pre-quarters, unfortunately, they met. And it was a close match. Both the games were close, but Kidambi Srikanth got the better and qualified, and he'll be playing against Lee of China today in the quarterfinals. So, your thoughts on that match? Where did Srikanth did well, and thoughts today? versus Lee, and Lee is a top seeded player, ranked BWF rank 10. So,
Yeah, I guess even I remember one world championship match not long ago, maybe about a couple of years ago, where I guess Srikanth prevailed in a tough match. Seems to have something
hmm,
extra when he plays. Is younger player, Lakshya Sen. So there is something is repeated it here. Obviously, Sen is not at his best over the last some months. So
hmm,
that also might have helped. Obviously, next match is going to be tough for him. I feel compared to his sorry peak version Srikanth after that knee injury, he slowed down about. Well, I'm not saying
hmm,
he's really slowed down. He's still competitive enough, but he slowed down a bit. And if you slow down a bit at that level, professional level, against really top players, it becomes slightly tough. But yeah, let's hope for the best. Let's see. And also Srikanth, if you notice, he doesn't have the best of records against top
hmm,
players. I'm not saying yeah, he's been a very good player for India, but compared to someone like the legends like Gopichand or Prakash Padkone and all, against really top players, one, two, three, four, five, his record is not exactly great. It's like Casper Ruud of tennis. He beats a lot of these other players, but I don't think he's won a single set against Djokovic, Nadal, or Federer. I don't think he's won a single set. So I'm not saying Kidambi Srikanth that bad. He's one matches against top players, but his record is there are a few holes. Even when he was a top ranked player, he used to struggle a bit against Axlan and all.
ah, exactly. And HS Pranay he looks in good shape from the Malaysian Open also, and today he'll be playing against Naraoka of Japan. But another one, our youngster Priyanshu Rajawat, we saw him in Orleans Open winning that competition. Yesterday also he gave good fight to Ginting. Ginting is BWF rank 2. Uh, your thoughts on Priyanshu Rajawat? He's a young prospect, exciting, quite talented, but he somehow I feel uh, loses some points in hurrying. And we have heard Gopi sir also telling this to Priyanshu to calm down and take your time to play the games. Your thoughts on Priyanshu Rajawat going forward?
Yeah, see, he's a youngster, as you said, so you can only learn by experience. So when you're young, obviously you lose some of the tough matches, and that only should teach you. It's like a harsh lesson you should. That's
Mm,
this failure is a stepping stone to more success. That's what they say. Obviously, it looks like a very cliche term, but it's true in professional sport. These sort of harsh lessons. From there, you have to improve based on that. Where did I lose these crucial points? How did I lose these crucial points? The best players in
mm,
professional sport, at least in racket sport, what they do is they concentrate on the next rally. They don't concentrate on what has
mm.
happened before. Somehow they find the erase button in the mind and concentrate on the next rally. That's easier said than done, but that is how I think the best players win. So it's harsh lessons, and hopefully we learn from it.
Exactly. And today, our only doubles player, Satvik Chirag, will be playing against Alfian and Ardina of Indonesia in the quarterfinals. So there are one of the biggest bets going forward to the Asian Games. So your thoughts on this pair?
Yeah, I think we have talked a lot about them in the past. Also, they have been winning, so expect them to do well. They had in the 2021 Olympics, obviously. They lost it by a very narrow margin in the end in the group. So yeah, they have been doing well, all England as well, as you know. So expect them to do
This
well here
BWF
again.
stage, they haven't actually made the final or the medal spot. So I think before the Asian Games, uh, this one will be an important one.
Yes, this one will be important. So hopefully Asian Games and not just Asian Games. Unlike last time, 2021 Olympics, this time we will see them on
Mm.
the podium. Hopefully everything goes well from that perspective and India's perspective.
Exactly, and so a bit. thoughts on the Ashes starting from today? Uh, Many things going on. So I was reading a preview to the game, and weather report says it's pretty hot in there in England and dry also, and the pitch is quite dry. So I read one article comparing the pitch at Edgbaston to some pitches like in central India. It is so dry. So what are your thoughts on that? How would the captains go about it if they win the toss?
So none of the English pitches, I don't think it will turn from the middle of the pitch. Like we have seen in India over the last 5, 6 years. I don't think it will turn out the middle of the pitch. But uh, Edgbaston, Warwell is a very senior curator. Hopefully, he's still there. They're definitely there till 2020, 2021. Very senior curator. I'm pretty sure he knows how much to water. Obviously, Ben Stokes has asked for some flat pitches. So I don't think, as we saw, that wasn't much grass, a little bit of maybe uh, 2 mm grass or whatever that was there, perhaps to hold the pitch together. I think it will be quite flat because Stokes wants it that way. Not sure whether it helps because I genuinely believe England have more skillful bowlers, skillful pace bowlers, and they should use the skillful pace bowlers. So their ability to move the ball in different ways. But that is what Stokes believes because it will help their batting lineup. But one has to remember Australia have batters like Labuschagne and Steve Smith. These guys can bat for very long periods on true wickets. They have been brought up on playing on true wickets in Australia. So that's something England have to remember. But they're backing their strengths and hoping that that will work. So they're looking at because if you look at the England seam attack, there's a pretty good seam attack, very good seam attack. But I think the
With
key
lots of
strength is
veterans also.
sorry.
With lots of veterans also, with Jamie
Yeah,
Anderson,
yeah.
Scott
But
Broad.
the key strength is to move the ball. So if there is any little bit of movement, let it be old ball swing, wobble ball, or whatever, they will find it. So from their point of view, I'm not saying leave 6 mm grass or something. Maybe a little more grass would have helped, but that is what Stokes believes, and let's see, or McCallum believes. Let's see if it works for England or not.
Exactly. And your thoughts on Harry Brooks? How would the Australian batters think about Harry Brooks? I read one article saying the Australian batters have been practicing short balls for Harry Brooks. Your thoughts?
I guess I already talked about him. Harry Brook is a good practice player, so not too sure short ball is the way to go to him.
Hmm.
Might get him out because of ego. But honestly, if they're really looking at short ball, then they might be in for a bit of shock because he might get caught somewhere because of his ego, somewhere in the boundary. But they're hoping that his strengths will go out. He's very much a backfoot player. The best way to go to him, I think, is to ball short and then go full. I've written about him in that Ashes preview. He's someone who has great wrists. So his wrists come through. I watched it when I was doing some reports for the second test at Wellington that Henry and Southey kept getting a little bit of movement, but somehow his wrist used to come through, though he was on the back foot and used to play all those drives. Actually, 186 runs, he scored 37 runs, scored through covers. That's amazing because he's a backward player. But yeah, if Australia want to go for the short ball ploy, let's see how it works. It could be like Harry Brook will score a lot of runs, or he will get out 2, 3 times caught at the boundary in the deep. Because definitely one of his strengths is to play cut and pull. So they're perhaps hoping that his strengths will lead to his weakness.
Yeah. And what are the two key matchups that you are looking forward to in this epic clash?
Ask me at the big ball end, I think it will be ball end versus Brook only because he's a backward player. So someone who nips it a little bit after foolish length might get Brook into trouble. Yeah, as I said, short ball ploy. There's a double-edged sword, as I said. If Pat
Hmm.
Cummins and company try the short ball ploy, it might happen just like what happened to Wagner. Lots of runs going against him, or it could be like three times caught in the boundary. This is from England perspective. From Australian perspective, I want to see how Travis Head goes against Robinson, Stuart Broad, and this. And I think he's up against three of the best bowlers against left-handers. Indian bowlers not exactly, perhaps don't exactly like to bowl to left-handers, but here is up against three bowlers who have enough success, more than enough
Hmm.
success against left-handers. So this would be one of the biggest challenges. I know someone would point out that it's got a brilliant 100 against the England team in 2021, but a lot of his runs came against Mark Wood and Chris Wokes. Neither of them are playing this game. So that I think would be interesting how obviously again England go up against Steve Smith. He has had a lot of success against England in England. Jimmy Anderson made one comment that perhaps they thought too much about him in the past and they would try to treat him like a and the regular batsman. That might help or not. Let's see.
Yeah. And before we end the show and just give a bit of football news, one thing, Bharat, the Asian Cup, the hybrid model that we have been discussing throughout these last 2 months, finally happening, and your thoughts on that. How important was this decision? Because it actually helps the relationship of both the countries also, and the impacts the sport also. Because without Pakistan, the tournament doesn't have a meaning, and you will be there covering it. So, your thoughts on that?
I guess you have to say it was unexpected lines because the World Cup also Pakistan were kind of hedging this to the World Cup by saying if this model is accepted, then we'll come out to World Cup and all that stuff. So somewhat expected lines that finally some kind of hybrid model would be accepted. If not for
Mhm.
the UAE now in Sri Lanka and Pakistan,
Mhm.
obviously heat conditions and all, they decided not to. I've been obviously in Dubai. My sister lives there. I've been there during September, August. It can get very hot. July, September, August. Around October time,
Mhm.
it perhaps cools down a bit. So not too surprised that it didn't go that way. So it went to Sri Lanka. Yeah, it's good for relationship, good for Nepal, but I would say it was on expected lines because of so finally some compromise had to be uh,
Exactly.
broken, had to be brokered, and this is what finally took place: Sri
Exactly. And
Lanka and Pakistan.
exactly. And without Pakistan, this competition loses 50% of its, or maybe more than that, of its importance, because India and Pakistan is the epic clash in this tournament. And yes, thank you, Bharat, for joining. And before we end, for our viewers, the from tomorrow, the under
Yeah, one
17
more
Indian
thing.
football team.
Obviously, again, they
Yeah,
will
sure.
one more thing.
Yeah,
There's one more thing. Obviously, again, they will hope that India Pakistan will play at least around 3 times in the tournament. The broadcasters will hope that India Pakistan will play 3 times in a tournament.
yeah, exactly. And everything rotates around this match only. Whatever happens, you have to win that one. It's much like the derby here in Kolkata.
So Nepal is a new market.
But
I think
still,
Nepal
Nepal and
matches will be watched a lot. Nepal.
obviously, but still, an India versus Pakistan is like a Mohun Bagan versus East
Yes.
Bengal, like the derby one,
Yes,
AC
yes,
Milan, Inter Milan.
yes.
Nepal is doing good, but Nepal has to travel, spend some time in the cricketing world to be in that derby zone. I think, with all due respect to Nepal, and they are doing
I'm saying
fantastically well. And
for
you said, yeah, yeah, from broadcasters, yeah, of course.
obviously a lot of them will watch.
Exactly. And Nepal crowd is getting much attraction. Even Nepal football is doing good. Yesterday they had a friendly match and they were fantastically good. And I know the head coach was with Gokulam Kerala, and he's fantastic. And yes, thank you, Bharat. But before we end, for our viewers, as I was saying, the under 17 football team is playing the AFC under 17 championship from tomorrow, and we have a story coming up with the rivals watch as to how the rivals are in of India in the group stage: Uzbekistan, Japan, and uh, Vietnam. So keep watching, and lots of stories coming up on Asia Cup, on the Ashes, on football, and everything. So keep following our social media handles and websites. And thank you, Bharat, for joining. We'll be back again on Monday. So thank you.